got here. Hello, are you here to debate?
Big dog. Yes, I am.
Okay. What's your name, age, and pronouns?
Yo, it's Gresh, dude. It's he, him. I'm 26. I tried calling the other day. I'm in the Twitch chat. What's up, guys? The only thing I wanted to talk about, I agree with all that shit. I think all that shit's right. There's only one caveat about the communism better than capitalism thing. I wanted to try to argue devil's advocate a little bit.
Devil don't need an advocate, friend. Why don't you?
Okay,
why don't you?
no.
At the
Okay,
next
wait,
time,
no.
Just listen. No, you listen. The next time there's office hours, just call in for office hours.
Oh, for
and then
office
ask me
hours.
Your point.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Want to keep debates
for
for
ops.
ops.
Annoying to do. Then all right. Well, I'm sorry. If this is annoying to do, I won't do it.
Yeah, we want to keep debates open for the ops.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, like that one fucking father of 7 that thinks that you should be. If I think it's racist and I can't call you. Yeah, I don't know, bro. That nigga is tripping. But yeah, you keep doing your thing, man. I'm sorry for if there's office hours, I'll wait for that. I tried calling you before, and it was when you were preparing for something else. So I'm sorry, I won't call you again. I'll wait for the office hours. Be easy, man. I love
you. All right. Hello, are you here to debate?
Yeah, type shit. Not trying to be on no bullshit, but you say that trans men and trans women are real women and men.
Yeah, before we start, can I just get your name, age, and pronouns?
Rory, 20. I'm a guy.
So what pronouns do you like to go by?
He, him.
Okay. And what was your question about trans men and women?
I'm saying if there's you said there's no difference, right?
No difference between what?
They're like regular men and women too, right?
They would be regular men and women, yes, but I don't. What do you mean by there's no difference?
Well, I'm saying if there's no difference, why do you say trans before you say man?
Same reason I would call cis men and women cis men and women. It's just a descriptive term. It's an adjective. You put adjectives before.
I swear I'm not even trying to be on that bullshit. But how does that make any sense?
You put an adjective before a noun to describe the noun. So, if I was describing white women, I would say white women.
In the situation we're talking about men and we're talking about a man is someone born with I don't know the exact chromosomes, but X and whatever, and women are born with X and Y, right?
Sure, I don't think men are people born with XY chromosomes. That's not what a man is. That would be what a man.
I don't know, but I'm saying I don't know the exact thing. I'm lucky dumb for it, but I'm saying I'm saying why would you put trans in front of that?
Because it's an adjective.
A man is defined by the chromosome they're born by and the genitalia they have.
Men are not defined by chromosomes and genitalia.
Well, how would you define a man? If we call anything a man, then what?
We don't call anything a man. Men would specifically denote people in society who align with specific ideals of behaviors or attributes exhibited by the different sexes.
Wait, repeat that one more time? My fault, I'm sorry.
So if I'm talking about what a man is, I'm going to say that a man is somebody they have a gender identity. So gender identity would be this innate sense of self that they possess. And this innate sense of self aligns itself with their own personal ideas on what males are, or what males are if we're talking about men. So it aligns itself with what males are to them. So we have these things in humans called schema. Schema is a psychological term that refers to the way our brains categorize information. So your brain subconsciously categorizes information throughout your whole life. So that schema will cause somebody to categorize males very specifically. And if they subconsciously align themselves with that schema on males, I would consider them a man. Because man is just a social category that references a lot of different things. Whereas what you were talking about earlier is sex. So males, we would typically define males as people with XY chromosomes because that would be the sex side. I'm talking about the gender side.
Okay, so we're saying gender is malleable here, right?
I would say gender is pretty malleable because we see that throughout different societies, they've had different gender categories. So gender would change between societies and cultures.
Like what society besides like the current Western America?
Yeah, so indigenous tribes, they had what's known as two-spirit, still have what's known as two-spirit, which is its own separate gender category. In Judaism, in the Talmud, they have like 8 distinct gender categories. So different cultures have had different numbers of genders and different gender categories. So gender is definitely malleable in that sense.
Okay, they're saying sex and gender are different.
Yeah.
And sex would be defining by genitalia and chromosomes.
I don't necessarily know. I wouldn't do genitalia because genitalia is defined, like genitalia is not a sex determinant trait. Your genitals are typically determined by your sex. But yeah, I would say that sex, which is the biological category related to reproduction, that would be one thing, and then gender would be something different. They're correlated and they have a link with each other. Like they can either align with each other or disalign. But yeah, I would just say that sex and gender are 2 different things.
Okay. So in all of this, right? I want to say you're very well spoken. No, not trying to disrespect you in any way. What's it called? We're saying gender is malleable. Gender and sex are different. Sex is the biology. Gender is more what you think. Then what like are you saying for any type of physical? Are you saying like for any type of physical attribute that is like okay? Like with the gender being malleable thing, can I literally change it whenever I want, and any doctor or anything like that has to treat me like a female?
Let me dial. I'm going to boil this down even deeper a level because it's not even necessarily that gender is malleable. So we have a genotypic sex and we have a phenotypic sex. Genotypic sex is our genes, so that's going to be chromosomes. Phenotypic sex is the physical representation of our sex. So either your primary or secondary sex characteristics. And then you have gender. Genotypic sex is widely viewed as an immutable trait. It can't be changed. Like if I'm born with XY chromosomes, I have XY chromosomes. There's no procedure right now that can change this. That's just the case that it is. Your phenotypic sex can be modified. So it's a modifiable trait. So like typically when we look at phenotypic sex, like your hormone levels, we can change what your hormone levels are. Genitals, we can change what your genitals are, right? Phenotypic sex is modifiable. Genotypic sex is immutable typically. And then you have gender, which is what we all just talked about. I would say gender inside a person is pretty solid, like a pretty immutable concept. Obviously you have people who are gender fluid, so they move a bit more evenly between specific gender categories, but even that gender fluidity is like an immutable thing in them. Your gender solidifies between the ages of like 2 and 4. And that's pretty much what it is. And it's not something that's super changed by society, save for the way you view the gender categories that exist in your given society. But yeah, gender, I would argue gender isn't super changeable, but we do change all the time. We do modify those phenotypic traits to match with what our internal sense of self is. So like if I'm born male, but my gender identity is that of woman, I might change my phenotypic or like the physical attributes of my sex categories. I might change that so that I'm phenotypically female, because we live in a society where women and females tend to have a typical when it comes to how they look, and I want to match that typical because it would better help my mental state. If all of that makes sense.
Yeah, that was a lot, but I mean, all right, man. I was just trying to see what you had to say about it. I appreciate your time.
All right, no problem. I might have gone too explanation-y on that one. I don't think he understood what I was saying.
He wasn't ready.
But if you're looking at Twitch and you're looking at the whiteboard, it makes a lot of sense.